Hello. So for today, we will be making our own beeswax candles. And for this project, the reason why I decided to do this is because many times when we buy our own candles, it can be unsustainable as they release pollutants such as VOCs and so our ingredients for today in order to make beeswax candles are our molds, and I got these from Michael's as well as the little dies. I got this bar stick from Michael's, but then I also got these two from Mia, so thank you. And I got some candle wicks. So these are ingredients that we're going to be using for our beeswax candles. So our first step is that we're going to fill this pot with some water, and then later on we're going to boil it on the stove. Basically what we did is we put the smaller pot inside the bigger pot of water. That way the wax doesn't melt directly into the bigger pot. So I'm gonna show you guys how that looks. Yeah, so this is the wax, the pot with the wax, and then this is the bigger pot with the boiling water. And now we're just gonna wait until all of our wax melts. So meanwhile the wax is melting, I like to mix it and stir it a bit just to make sure that the wax doesn't stick to each other, and so that way it melts better. So yeah, I'm just mixing it right now a bit just to make sure that it's melting well. So okay, so after a while the wax melted, and meanwhile I prepped the wick, and now here I am pouring the wax into the mold, and now my mom helped me a bit here. She poured in the last part of the wax into the mold, and so yeah, we finished pouring the wax, and so we waited. And meanwhile I also decided to pour in the colors. So I got a bit of the blue dye and then decided to put it into the wax. So yeah, this process took a while. So yeah, here I am pouring it in, and so now I decided to use the red dye and get a bit of it and put it into the melted wax, and yeah, put some dots in, and then I mixed it all together so that way it looked good after it hardened. I don't think I did a good job though. It's my first try, so yeah, I don't think it was my best, but hopefully I can improve later on. So yeah, I'm just poking at it and trying to mix it up, but I think I'll mix it before melting it. And so here's the wax, and yeah, we'll just wait for it to dry. So after the wax finally dried off, here I am just showing off the dried off wax, and it was so hard to take it out. I was struggling so much, like you could just see the struggle was real. And yeah, I finally was able to get it out eventually. So yeah, I'm just showing it. So you can see it didn't really mix well, the dye, but you know, it was really good for first try. And so I cut off the wick. Yeah, and so now we finished our beeswax candle. So yeah. So as mentioned before, beeswax candles are sustainable because due to the reason of them burning cleaner compared to normal candles, which means that less pollutants are being released into the atmosphere and technically into our bodies, as well as they are usually burned indoors, which means that we're the ones who consume that, like those pollutants. As beeswax candles are also all natural since they're produced from bees, This also means that less chemicals go into it, as it is through the creation of beeswax candles, which means that less chemicals are being released into the atmosphere, into our environment, and into our bodies as well, which means that it is environmentally sustainable for us, and it also improves the environment, healing it from toxins, keeping away from toxins, and also improves our body, as we are kept away from all those toxins that are normally found in normal candles. So by creating these candles, we're able to enjoy this nice smell of honey, and also enjoy more of the candles as it burns more than normal candles, while also taking advantage of its positives, as such as cleaner burnings and less chemicals being released into the environment.